well, welcome again. But we appreciate you being here this afternoon. Oh, my goodness. Add a little humor for the parent video. Thank you for being here. We're excited about going to Williamsburg. The sixth grade will be going as well. The fifth grade will be going. And then with that being said, the trips will look a little bit differently just because it will be a fifth grade trip. It will be a sixth grade trip. And we're going to give you the details. And there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle so it can actually make. And then we'll go over all that today. But thank you for coming. I know 150 is kind of a tough time, so I appreciate you working with us and getting here for that. And then we'll accommodate those two that were not here. So, Miss Lou,
Okay.
if you'll stand right here, please.
I will. I'm keeping my eye on where the camera is pointing. All right. This is, of course, it is a tradition that the fifth graders travel to Williamsburg for a three-day, two-night trip. And last year, of course, we were not able to do any trips, so the current sixth graders were not able to go last year. And the decision was made that we would, due to COVID concerns and, a lot of different pieces to the puzzle, we would just have a sixth grade and a fifth grade trip to Williamsburg, although we will be on separate buses and we will be doing separate things. We will be housed in the same hotel. We will be there the same days. We actually will be traveling up together, and we will probably see each other throughout our activities, but they will be two separate trips. There are some added little things that the sixth graders are going to do because they, of course, our sixth graders always want to feel special because they're the seniors of the school, and so we have a few little added things that will make them feel like it is a special trip for them as well. Now, when we do these tours, it is not mandatory. So your child does not have to go on the trip. If they don't go on the trip, what is traditional is that they come to school and they stay till 11:30, and they actually have an in-school project that they are more or less learning and doing some of the same things that we're doing. They're just doing it in a virtual way, and they will have a separate project to do that will count the same as what the children are doing on the trip will do. So it will count the same. If you choose for them not to come, then they would just be marked absent. But that is traditionally how we do that. If you choose for your child not to go, they can come to school till 11:30 each of those 3 days. And typically Ms. Connor stays with those students in a combined classroom. So just know that this is not a requirement thing. But there are certain elements of it that are unknown. I mean, we just got the leeway to present this trip to you because of the COVID mitigations and the Health and Wellness Committee. And so, but I've been talking to the travel agent who is organizing all this since like August. So we've been kind of, in waiting mode to see what happens. Basically, the trip dates are March the 29th through the 31st, but due to the fact that we're going through a travel agency with a group tour, we do have some deadlines that we have to make some decisions by. So your first deadline for your decision is you really have to decide whether you want, number one, your child to go on the trip, or number two, you want you and your child to go on the trip by Wednesday, December the 15th. Which gives you 2 weeks to make a decision. And then after that, we're sort of waiting to see what happens with the COVID pandemic after Christmas, how that could affect what's going on with our school population. We actually have until February the 8th to completely cancel the trip and get our money back. You do have to pay a $200 deposit when you sign up, and if like you and your child were going to sign up, I'm going to send a link out. Well, I'll send it to the fifth grade teachers, and they will send the link out by email where you go into the Capital Tours trip portal and you sign up for the trip and you pay your deposit all through that portal. It's all done online. You don't send in any money or anything. And like you and your child would count as two separate sign-ups. So it's all the same price, adult and children. The price is going to be $463. That's based on, per person, based on triple or quad occupancy. And you have to realize that when we are deciding who goes in what rooms, there are lots of different scenarios. Like if you were to go with your child, you could be in a room with another parent and another child, or you could be in a room with your child and 2 other children, or there could be various and other, situations. There could be a male father and a female child who might be, would need permission for another female child to stay with the male parent and child. I mean, there are lots of situations, and we really don't discuss those situations until we have the golden list. And the golden list is of people who have paid their deposit and who have signed up for the trip. And that's who we discuss the rooming situations with, because we will have children whose parents will not go, and they have to have a spot that their parents are comfortable with them spending 3 days with another adult. So those children are typically placed first. We usually, once we get the golden list, we send out a roommate selection form where they're like 4 lines, and we ask for you to sign, 4 children that you would be comfortable with your child rooming with. No adult names go on the roommate selection form. However, if your child puts down your child and your child puts down that child, we try to give your child at least one of their choices, but we cannot promise because everybody has to have a spot. And we try not to hurt feelings of children who may not be picked by anyone to room with. So, but everybody has to have a spot. So those kind of details have to be worked out like a puzzle, and we will get to that, but just realize that when you sign up for the trip, you may be with another adult and another child, you may be with 2 children and your child, or there are occasions where we've had 1 adult and 1 child in the room, parent and child. So we never know what those situations are until we get the golden list, okay? So there may be more questions after that later, but those are the parameters. That's why when you're signing up, where it says triple and quad, you're probably not going to have your own room, okay? You're probably going to be in the room with somebody because the tour company has to keep the amount of rooms as economically organized as possible. So we have to have at least 3 to 4 in a room, ideally, to pay for the cost of the room at that cost. Now, say we have to have 35 to 40 people, that includes parents and children, signed up for the trip to make. And if we get that magic number before December the 15th, that's great. If we don't get that magic number of 35 to 40 and say we have 28 people sign up, then we have some options. We have the option of canceling the trip altogether, or we have the option of coming back to those 28 people that signed up and say, okay, the travel company is saying we can still go forward with the trip, but it will be X amount of dollars more than what your $463 initial payment was. So that we do have 2 options. Capital Tours has suggested that you all invest in the trip insurance because of obvious reasons. If you were to get sick, you could get, your money returned. It does not cover the fear of COVID. That is one thing she wanted to make sure everybody knows. It does not cover the fear of COVID. It covers if somebody in your family were to get COVID. So that is another part of it. Basically, the trip is we meet here at the school. We travel up to Monticello, which is Thomas Jefferson's home. Wonderful trip, wonderful part of the trip. We go into Williamsburg. We have dinner. We're 5th and 6th grade are staying in the same hotel and doing the Monticello. We won't be in the same groups, but we're doing Monticello together. And then the next day we get up and we do Colonial Williamsburg. And we do Colonial Williamsburg all day. We have guided tours, but we also have an afternoon block where just you and your little chaperone group, or you may want to band together with 2 more chaperone groups. You have lots of choices as to activities, and we will give you a list of those choices. And we will pretty much say we'd like for you to do at least 3 of these choices, and then you can discuss with your group. And, you know, the boys may be more interested in going to see the magazine. The girls may be more interested in going to see the hat shop and, you know, little things like that. And then we meet back together and we watch the Fife and Drum Parade, which is really cool. We eat at a tavern, Colonial Tavern, and then we do a ghost tour, a walking ghost tour. And then you go back to the hotel, you have some downtime. They do have a little trip journal that counts as a really easy, if it's done appropriately, a little trip journal that counts as their social studies grade for the trip. And it also counts in language arts because it is a written thing where they just write things in the journal at night, like, you know, 3 things I learned that were really interesting today were. Yeah, it's very simple. And then the final morning, we get up, pack the bus, we go to Jamestown Settlement. We tour there and we go to the Jamestown glass blowing, which is one of my favorite things to see. We eat lunch there, and then we're on the road back home. So, it's a busy, packed 3 days, but it's a lot of fun, and it's really one of my favorite trips, and I really enjoy it. Pardon me? We did it in 2 days one year. Yeah, we did it in 2 days one year, and that was quite an adventure. Now we're doing 3 days. Wonder why? But we did add the Monticello back in. I think that year Monticello was closed, and we were not able to go to Monticello, and that was why. Yeah, we did pack it in. It's great. So basically, that's about all the basic information. The main thing you need to do is decide if you want your child to go on the trip. Decide if you want to go on the trip and sign up by the 15th, pay the deposit, and get it going. And then the next, I think there's one more payment that'll be like the end of January, first part of February. The price is cut into 2 payments. And I think the only other decisions we'll be making will come after Christmas when we kind of evaluate what our circumstances are. With that. So, if you don't feel comfortable with your child being on a bus and traveling in a group and staying in a hotel with, somebody else, like I said, it is not a requirement. It is just an opportunity. So, anyway, that's it. Questions for the good of the group? Anybody have questions? Okay.
Well, what happens when I sign up saying mom's going to go, but then when it comes time, then dad probably decides to go, or to switch?
That's a problem, really, because of the whole roommate thing. We try to do our roommate selection and our room assignments. We try to do it about 3 weeks before the trip.
Okay,
Switching is a problem unless it's done before 3 weeks, because if you're going and your child is going, you're a female, your child is a female, we're probably gonna, if we put you with somebody, it would be another female and another female child. But then if your dad decides to go, well, that's a male and a female with 2 no, we're not gonna do that. So, I think we have done that one time in the history of All Saints, and it was because it was a parent and her brother, and they had 2 children in the same age. And we let them room together because they were all family, But we're typically not going to put a male with a female in the same room. No. Okay? So I would say at least 3 weeks out, that decision has to be firm. Okay? Question?
You have said something about meals.
The meals are all included except for the first day. We take a bag lunch and we stop at the rest area and we eat because we have to eat quickly on the run to get to Monticello. But all the other meals are included in the price. Everything in the price is included. All the tickets, all the transportation, all the meals. Now, of course, souvenir money, that's your own thing, because every place has a gift shop. Just saying, and all the kids love the gift shop. So, anyway.
Also, your total of 35 will be 5th grade and 6th grade together?
No, separate. 35 5th, 35 6th. We are 2 separate trips. We are not together. The only thing we're doing together is we're gonna be at Monticello at the same time. We're gonna be at the same places at the same time, with the exception of some things, and we're gonna be staying in the same hotel. But it's 2 separate trips. I probably won't even see you unless there's an emergency. Okay, anybody else? Questions? Okay, you're gonna get, I'm gonna try as best I can to get this video uploaded and sent out to the parents who are not here. Hopefully they understand everything. And then I will forward the link to your 5th grade teachers, and they will forward you the link. And you just click on that link. It'll take you straight to the Capital Tours tour portal. And you will see the itinerary. You'll see all the information there, where to click and sign up. It's very simple. But if you have any questions, you can email me, and I'll talk you through it if you need help with it. But the D-Day is December 15th. That's when we have to know one way or the other, and that's when we will make a decision.
Yeah.
Okay?
Ms. Lou,
Yes.
back to your question, Swap, if you had to switch out a parent. We did have a question earlier, that what if both parents wanted to go? And you can.
You can.
Not that that would happen, but just to throw that out there, if anybody was good at a group, if both parents want to go, they certainly are.
You count as 2 people in the room.
Right.
You're shaking your head. Yeah, I mean, we have a 6th grade student who both parents want to go, and we're like, sure, come on, you know. Any other questions I can answer, or any other issues you want to have addressed? I think the kids are excited about it because it is a lot of fun. And we're glad that we're able to get back to the possibility of offering this. Pray that there's not a big outbreak over Christmas, and hopefully everything will be able to happen.
Yeah, Ms. Lou, one last thing for the good group. She mentioned earlier, as soon as, we're not going to wait till December 15th that the trip makes, to let you know that.
We'll let you know.
We'll let you know that. Also, with the help of our task force and mitigation teams, if something were, and actually, I thought about this one too, if something were to rise or something kind of goes nutty with that, I mean, we will, obviously, everything will be all based off informed decisions, so we would let you know that immediately as well, and then we would go that route. So it's not our objective for you to lose any kind of deposits or anything like that.
Yeah, we've
So
tried.
our decisions were made in a timely fashion.
Yeah,
on
we
point for that, so.
They have given us February the 8th as the cutoff date for our final as a school decision. But we need to know where you all stand before Christmas so that we can, start making those plans, because there are certain reservations that the tour group will not make until we sign our contract with them, and December 15th is the day we have to decide if we're going to sign that contract with them. So, it's a lot of ins and outs, and it's a big puzzle, really.
You told the 6th grade group the way that she'll know if the trip is going to make is once you log into their portal and you sign up and make your deposit, she can go.
I can go in and see.
how many
And I'll probably check it like every other day and just, see where the numbers are. And, it could be that somebody's sitting on the fence and, like if we were close to 35, we could come back and say, maybe everybody needs to come up with another $50 or something like that. And we have to financially make the trip. It's not about the numbers, it's about the financially making the amount that the company needs to make the trip. So it could be some of that playing around. And there was also a question from the 6th grade parent is if the school ended up canceling the trip, would they still be able to go on a trip? Because we had that happen last year with the 6th grade parents, because we were not offering a field trip, and at the last minute they're like, well, hey, can we get something together on our own, those of us who feel comfortable doing it? And Capital Tours is a private and group tour company, and there could be the possibility if our school trip could not function, Capital Tours would be willing to work with any group of people that wanted to get together and do it. I mean, the plans are already there. It would be very easy for them to take that on with you on an individual basis if it were to the point where you felt like it would be something you want to do. Any other questions? Okay. We will send it out as soon as I can get back in my room and have some free time to send it. I will be glad to send it. Bye.